knowledge of the day. First, before I start today, it's going to be a little longer than usual because I have even a list of things that I want to say. Why? Because I feel I'm gonna talk about money, and I feel the topic is really important, and every single person on this planet should know these things. That's why I want to share them with you. With that being said, so today's knowledge of the day, something really very interesting quote that Chris Record said in one of his videos. That I saw it today, but it's a couple of months old video, and he said, "Seminars before steaks," and I find it pretty hilarious and very thoughtful. First, I'm gonna explain it my way, so how I understand that. You should rather spend your extra money or your profit that you have for something that is going to last, that is going to be beneficial to you in the future, instead of just spending that extra money for things that are going to give you that instant dopamine rush in your brains, so you'll be instantly happy, but you won't have any lasting benefits in the future. So rather buy some books or seminars or whatever than go to a fancy dinner, or it doesn't need to be steak, food, whatever. It can be, I don't know, buying a new pair of jeans, whatever. He was also talking about that 90 days challenge, where you, because I'm trying to do e-commerce, internet, social media marketing, internet marketing, things like that. So when you make a first sale, he said, when you make a first sale, for the next 90 days, every profit you make, you should invest that back into your business. Meaning that you shouldn't spend any money on yourself, on your rent, on your food, on anything. Everything that you make in those from your first sale and the next 90 days, you should invest back in your business. And after that, when you make some more money, you can then go on and, you know, buy some fancier things that you desire in your life. My personal opinion, 90 days is not enough. It should be even more. So, but if you're not in online marketing, if you're not having your own business, that would just mean that all the money that you create, that you have extra money at the end of the month, you should invest it into something that is going to create you more money, and not spend it on things that are gonna depreciate and take your money away, basically. In short, that's it. Before now I wanted to talk about the core principle of money that every single person should understand, but 99.9% of people on this planet just don't get it. First, I would like to say that I am not an expert. Please, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me at all. Do your own research. Watch YouTube videos, watch billionaires, millionaires online, read some books, do your own research. I'm not an expert on this topic. I'm not super wealthy. I'm not financially free. I know barely anything about money. Don't listen to me. Do your own research. If you're interested in the topic, do your own research. So now that we understand where I stand, I can share this with you. So what is that core principle about money and the money game that 99.9% people don't understand? So and it's really simple. It's really simple. You'll see. It will feel obvious to you. You shouldn't buy things you cannot afford. Simple as that. Don't buy things you cannot afford. First, I would like to say there was obviously there's a study every single year why rich people get richer and poor people get poorer, and currently 8 wealthiest people on the planet have more money than 50% of population. So 3.5 billion people on one side and 8 people on the other. It's pretty crazy to think about it, and that's basically because most people don't get that they shouldn't buy things they cannot afford. Let's start with first. I would like to explain to you. I wouldn't even explain to you. You already know that. So we all have fixed costs. So you have to pay for your rent or your house or your bills, whatever you have. So that you have to pay for your food and water, and you have to pay for your clothes. So you have fixed costs, and you should always take care for that first. And what you do extra, when you earn extra money, then you can play around and invest in yourself, invest in something else, whatever. So first you gotta cover your fixed costs. Now I'm going to give you some examples, really simple examples, so you understand why you shouldn't buy things you cannot afford or you don't need, and why most people don't get that. So most people would see a new Louis Vuitton bag in a store, and they would decide, okay, I want that. I'm gonna work hard, and they work and work and work. They save some money, they work some more, and as soon as they have enough money on their bank account, they're gonna buy that Louis Vuitton bag. Now, I cannot say that this is the wrong way of living. Who am I to judge that having a one Louis Vuitton bag today is a bad thing, right? Is it? You only have to ask yourself: is it better to have one Louis Vuitton bag today, or, for example, 1,000 Louis Vuitton bags in 5 years? What is more important to you? Most people like this. Most people prioritize short-term desires over long-lasting rewards, and that's why they rather buy stuff right now instead of invest in something that could last for years or even decades in advance. Another example, so let's go even deeper so you'll understand what I'm trying to say. For example, you earn 5,000 euros per month, which is a huge amount of money. We can both agree on that most people in Slovenia won't ever earn that much money in 1 month. So that's a lot of money, and pardon me. If you have so you have fixed costs, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 euros, it doesn't matter. So the rest is your money you can spend or invest or whatever. And you really want to have a new car, and you see a new BMW, I don't know, let's say 50,000 euros. It costs 50,000 euros, and what most people would do, they would throw away their 1,000 euros worth, I don't know, Skoda Fitch or whatever the previous car was. They're gonna throw that away. They're gonna take a credit from a bank, and of course bank will approve that credit, and they'll have a new BMW, and then they're going to pay, I don't know, 1,000 euros a month for the next 10-15 years. to the bank. And what I would like to say here is that if you don't have money on your bank account, so if you don't have 50,000 euros sitting on your bank account, that means that you cannot afford a new BMW. But you're going to say, oh, bank approved my credit, blah blah blah, you know, I can still afford it. Yeah, that's why you cannot get wealthy, because as soon as you have the opportunity, you're going to spend all your money you have. That's the problem. You rather have something short term than something long lasting. Instead of you investing the extra money that you have, either it doesn't need to be stocks, or if you can invest it in your own business, or if you don't have your own business, you can invest it in whatever. That's a whole different topic, investments. But you shouldn't just spend all your money right away. For example, Mike Tyson, he was one of the wealthiest athletes a couple of years ago, like it was probably a couple of decades ago, and he declared bankruptcy because he didn't know how to manage his money. He just blew all off. And whatever. Let's move on. I have another example so you will understand what I'm talking about. So most people, 99.9% of people, I'm trying to tell you that, that number many times, that you'll understand that is like basically everyone, almost everyone. 99.9% of people would rather, let's say that you live in an apartment with 5 other roommates, you're paying your rent, and you're working a 9-to-5 job. It's nothing wrong with 9-to-5 jobs, right? Nothing wrong with like regular jobs. You can still get financially free, and you can still get wealthy if you know how to manage your money. Regardless of that, so you're paying rent with 5 other roommates, and as soon as you get a raise in your job, if you get a raise, as soon as you get a raise, you're going to move out. Now, obviously if those 5 people are horrible, then that's probably a good idea. But if they are not, let's say that they are really friendly, you would still rather be on your own and pay more rent per month, because you have more money on your bank account and you can spend more money on the new apartment. Most people even go even further. They take a credit, a bank approves the credit, and they buy a fancy apartment or a fancy house. It doesn't need to be fancy, but it's certainly going to cost a lot of money, and they're gonna be paying back for that house or apartment for the rest of their lives, basically. I don't know, 20-30 years, and bank will charge them good interest for that as well. Now here's the difference, that I cannot say that short-term desires and having, I don't know, BMW right now instead of afford 3 in next 5 years, what is better, I cannot say. If you prefer things right now, if you want something right now, well, I can't argue with that. But you probably are never going to be wealthy, and even if you win a lottery, you're gonna waste all your money, you're gonna spend all your money, what most lottery winners do, because they don't know what to do with all that money, so they just spend it. Once again, I said it before, again, people prefer short-term desires, these quick dopamine rushes in their brains, instead of long-lasting results, long-lasting rewards in the future. And that's why they don't have money. Now, that doesn't mean that you should have your money on your bank account and you should just be stingy with it and just pile it on. That's not gonna help either. So either you invested in your own business or in something else. So the goal is that your money is making more money without you doing the work. So it's just money making money. That's the thing that a lot of people are talking about, but I think that most people, the wealthiest people on the planet, wouldn't like those 99.9% of people to change their behaviors, because that's why they are wealthy, because people are spending their money on things they cannot afford, or things that they don't need. So it's not just that I cannot afford something, okay? A lot of people, not a lot of, I can speak from my own experience. If I would show you my room, I have so many shit in my room that I never use, and I either bought it or I got it. It would take me days to put these things on Boja, for example. It's so much shit that I don't need, and that's also a problem. You buy things that you don't need, not just that you cannot afford, some people won't ever buy expensive cars, they wouldn't take a credit, but they still spend money on those little things they never use, or they use them once and then they throw them away. Another thing, and here's the problem. Why are people doing that? Here is the problem. So we are thinking, me as well, we are thinking that we are actually good with money. We are thinking that we are managing our money very well. Why? Because, I don't know, we go to a grocery shop, and we buy the cheapest yogurt, for example. We buy, instead of the expensive one, we buy the cheapest yogurt, and we save a couple of cents. And then we are like, oh yeah, I saved some money, I'm very good with my money. But on the way home, we stop in a liquor store and we buy another beer. And then we stop in, I don't know, some tech shop and we buy something else as well. There's the irony. And also, for example, at home, I'm like that. You're only showering for 3 minutes, so your water bill at the end of the month is gonna be a little smaller, and all the doors gotta be shut, all the lights gotta be turned off, and things like that. That makes very little difference, but in our brains that tells us, oh, we are good with our money, we are saving a lot of money, we are managing our money very well. Instead, we should think about how to make more money with the profits that we are making right now, with the profits that we have. How to invest. A simple Chris Record was also talking about it in his video. For example, you have 10 euros, and let's say that you know how to make 15 euros out of those 10 euros. Okay, now you have 15 euros. When you put some work into it, you have 15 euros. Most people would take €5 profit and they would spend it on a steak or something, and they would take those 10 euros, invest it back into their business, and they would create another 15 euros. And then they would take €5 profit, and it would go on and on and on. In reality, what you should do, when you create those 15 euros, you should take 15 euros, invest them back in your business. Or if you're not having your own business, you should invest it back into, I don't know, stock, bonds, whatever investment you're investing your money in. So you invest those 15 euros back into your business, and now you have 15 euros here, and you make 25 euros. Okay? And that is a lot more profit than before. So altogether you have so 10 plus 5, 15 euros in profit. With the second method, with the first method, you have only 10 euros in profit. Obviously, these are small numbers, but if you do that with huge numbers, you get huge differences. Then you take those 25 euros, you invest them back into your business, and you create 35. And you take 35, you invest them back, you create 50. You take 50, you invest it back, you create 70, and then on and on and on. Instead of just doing from 10 to 15 and you spend 5, 10 to 15 you spend 5. For the same work, you get much more money over time. Obviously, at the beginning, it doesn't seem much, but over time, that's a lot of money. Like I said before, to end it, I cannot judge you if you prefer one Louis Vuitton bag today instead of 1,000 Louis Vuitton bags in 5 years. For example, you know, I don't know, let's say it's 300 euros, one Louis Vuitton bag. So instead of spending it today, those 300 euros, you take it, you invest them, and in 5 years, let's say you'll have enough to buy 1,000 Louis Vuitton bags. Now, I cannot say that one Louis Vuitton bag today is better or worse than 1,000 in 5 years. I just see that, but if you really want to be wealthy, you should always think about long term and what will benefit you in the long run, and not these short term things that we like to buy, you know. Rather have macaroni with ketchup for a couple of years, and you can afford a chef in 3 or 5 years, than eating macaroni and chicken every single night, but in 5 years you can still eat only macaroni and chicken. That's a really weird example, but for example, you know, I hope you get the point what I'm trying to say. My English is not as good. I would probably explain it better in Slovene, because yeah, I'm kind of searching for words. And now to end it, why is this that 99.9% of people spend their money on the things they cannot afford, and they spend their money on the things they do not need? Why? Because nobody is teaching these things. In school, schools are created for workforce, so for people to work in 9-to-5 job. Nothing is wrong with 9-to-5 jobs, to get it clear, but school is just not teaching anything about money. And if you're like me, your parents didn't teach you anything about money as well. So you have to either learn yourself, or you're just bad with money. Basically, that's how it is. And also, all those wealthy people, obviously they do not want you know, the society to change, because at the end of the day, all these people who are spending their money on the things they cannot afford, they are making rich people richer. And I'm in online marketing, internet, you know, e-commerce and things like that, and I'm benefiting from those people as well. I'm not there yet, so and I'm not planning to sell shit online, but certainly I don't care if someone cannot afford something when they buy it from me. I don't care about that as long as they pay me, and that's how the world works. So you either educate yourself, or you're uneducated and you continue spend stuff you cannot afford or you don't need. I wouldn't say that that is the same thing with everyone. That's a very different, you know, there's many different variables. with this, but still, 99.9, I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure 99.9% of people do not understand how the money works. They would rather buy a car with a credit, or buy something they do not need right now, just because it looks good and because it feels good. To finish it off, tomorrow I'm also planning to do a little longer knowledge of the day about financial freedom. Obviously, I'm not an expert about financial freedom as well. I'm not financially free. Like, I don't have a lot of money. I'm not wealthy. So once again, please do not listen to me. Do your own research. Watch some YouTube videos, read some books, whatever you do. Don't listen to me. I'm not here to try to tell you how to live the life and what is right and what is wrong. I'm just sharing what I learned, and I think that core principle, how to deal with money, is extremely important, and every single person should understand it and should know how this works. And then it's up to you how you react to that, what you do with your money. It's not up to me, it's up to you. Once again, don't buy shit you cannot afford. Don't buy shit you don't need. And to end it with a quote that I started, seminars before steaks. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was super long, and tomorrow is going to be a longer episode as well. Not as long as this one. This is just way too long. Thank you so much for watching. If you agree that you shouldn't spend your money on dumb shit you cannot afford and on dumb shit you don't need, leave a like. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.